Welcome to the Pearls of Wisdom podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Hello, everyone. This is Guy with Jewelry Store Marketers, and I'm here with Chuck Koehler today. And our special guest is Konrad Darling. And so glad to have you here. Sure.
All right. So why I wanted to talk to Konrad is that you're in the wholesale gemstone business, the
Correct.
colored stone business. So tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so the company was founded in 1992. My grandfather, father, and uncle, all three were in the industry previously and set out to start on Darling Imports. And we focus and specialize in loose color specifically. So anything from amethysts, garnets, and citrines, all the way up to emerald, rubies, and sapphires.
Well, how did the name of the company come about?
So it's an easy one.
Put it this way, I literally never knew that until a minute ago.
Yeah. So last name's Darling, family name. So it was pretty easy to say Darling Imports. So
That's
we're
funny.
an importer of colored stones. So.
You know, I've known y'all for 20 plus years, and I've always wondered, why did you name it Darling Import? I just never looked. I see Konrad, but I never looked.
It's a nice double entendre. We like to think that the Southern charm and all that's the nice Darling aspect of it, and we're physically Darling. So
Look at that.
Well, outside of the standard inventory that you would have, the 3mm amethyst and things like that y'all have a reserve section.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something we've absolutely been categorizing and collecting well over 30 years. But that we've really started to focus on now, where you've got your one-of-a-kind specialty stones. Your 3.5 carat emeralds in an oval or an emerald cut, or a 1 carat round sapphire that you need for a nice engagement ring. It's the higher end stuff, as well as the stuff that you're not going to replace consistently. The things that we focus and specialize in. And on our website, they've all got photographs and everything like that. So it's a really nice collection of stones that we have there.
Well, you had told me when we were talking earlier, you had about, 1,500?
Yeah.
And now, tell us on the website why people miss it all the time.
Yeah. So the website on the home page is split into two. We have the stock on one side, which would be the right side, and the reserve on the left side. I think it's really easy for everyone to think everything is under stock, so I think that might be where the confusion is. But the reserve stone is on the left side. That's where all of those nicer, one-of-a-kind pieces are separated from our stock, so we know the difference between them.
So if I have a customer comes in and just says, I want a really nice yellow sapphire, pear-shaped, around 3 carat.
Yeah.
Then go to your website.
Yeah.
Or if you're just looking to buy high-end goods,
Yeah.
that y'all have them. But now you also told me you have 1 or 2 that aren't cataloged yet. How many was that? 1 or 2? Did you say?
Add a couple zeros to that. I'd roughly say we still probably have anywhere from easily 3,000 to 5,000 stones that we have as backup, stuff that we just have in general, that I've been looking for places to put into inventory, as I know everyone has that same exact problem. We do as well, so don't feel alone. But yeah, there's always room for holes and stuff that sells, so that's where we pull from.
Yeah, so just because it's not on the website doesn't mean don't call.
Absolutely.
Don't ask.
Absolutely.
Because like everybody, I've got drawers and boxes of things that I literally haven't looked at in years, and then I'll be looking for something. I'm like, oh, wow, I forgot about that.
Exactly. Yeah. And what a time to find that, right?
Yeah.
You just come across it.
But now, one of the things we talked earlier about was you take those Art Deco pieces that have like the little triangle-shaped emerald or a sapphire.
Yeah.
And so I've got a ring missing that. I send it to you. What happens?
Yeah, so for this particular example, we do a lot of in-house matching. So you can send the ring in to us, and that way you don't have to worry about measuring, figuring out what size it is. And we'll figure out what we have, and we will get you the loose stone. Now, we don't do any of the setting. We will just provide you with the loose stone and everything, since we're not setters. But we'll go through the material that we have. For this specific example, almost all of it's going to be lab created stuff for what we're working with now. There's just so much waste in material and natural that it's a lot easier to do lab grown for a lot of these old antique rings, because you lose that, we're talking $15-20. You lose the other, we're talking several hundred. So,
well, that's one of the things about, as a bench jeweler, when you get one of those rings in and it's got that weird little emerald And the worst part, you just paid $500 or $600
Right.
for that thing that's about that
Yep,
big.
yep.
And if you
And you
break
lost it in the
it,
carpet.
yeah, you know,
Yeah.
that works. It just flicks over your shoulder,
Yeah.
and so you listen, and
Yeah.
it never lands.
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
going through your hair and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. If you do do it in lab grown, then it's not that expensive.
Correct.
Well, now what about? Say somebody's got a turquoise ring, bracelet's got several pieces of turquoise, one of them missing.
Yeah. So we'll handle specialty cutting as well, cut to fit. So if it's an odd shape, things like that, we do have a cutter that we use that will do these cut to fit type options. If it's a simple 8x6 oval, no problem. You know, what we have found a lot of, the material that works the best is the neo turquoise material. So we specialize in that too. So simple repair jobs for that, we can handle it, whether it's a custom cutting or just a calibrated size.
Well, how much would you say, like inventory wise, like, you know, how many employees do you have? Let's talk about the company. Like,
Yeah.
how many employees do you have?
Yeah, so we have 6 total that are there.
Y'all are based here out of Atlanta.
That is
area,
correct.
right?
Yep. We're Atlanta based, so we got that the Georgia Southern charm, all that good stuff. So we're really easy to work with on the phone. But yeah, we have 6 total folks that are there every single day. So we've got a strong 5 of us are on the phone, and then Michelle, who's in shipping and is fantastic at what she does there to get all those packages out to you guys.
And for the record, if anybody's wondering why we're talking to Konrad and not Kristen, which was my number one choice, was because Konrad was here and Kristen's not going to be here till tomorrow.
And
so-
most folks are very familiar with Kristen as well for the Jewelers Helping Jewelers. She's an absolute beast on there. Love everything that she does. She's constantly engaging in everything. So that might be who you're familiar with the most, especially if you're on JHJ.
Well, like, how deep is your inventory? If somebody just is looking for a supplier for a lot of product, you know?
Yeah. It's going to be a bit of a generic answer from me, but we already know about the thousands of stones we have for just the reserve, and that doesn't even include what we do on stock inventory on a daily basis, such as the amethysts, garnets, citrines, you know, generic emerald, ruby, sapphires. I mean, you know, we're talking thousands upon thousands of carats of each on those, just of the breadth of sizes that we go, all the way down to 1 millimeter rounds in some cases, up to 10 millimeter rounds in others, and that's just rounds. You know, we're not even talking about the other shapes, stuff like that. So we have a really, really wide range. For the most part, we do focus on a 3-tier grading system. So we have a premium AAA grade, fine AA grade, commercial A grade. And a lot of that focuses on all the different stones. Some are just good or better is usually the qualities, but for the most part, we try to hit that 3-tier system as well.
Well, how would anybody find you if they wanted to contact Darling Imports?
Yeah. Greatest way to do it is dialing that 800 number, 800-282-8436. We answer that Monday through Friday, every single day. You can also go online, darlingimports.com. That's where you can kind of sift through everything there. And then if you want to email us, you can do orders at darlingimports.com. And once you reach us individually, I'm sure you'll gain an individual email address and hit everyone up that you enjoy working with. So,
Are the customers out there be able to see you guys some upcoming shows?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a big part of RJO and IJO. So we just got done with both of those shows, and obviously Atlanta being our home base, that's our big one. So those are the main shows that we do and everything like that. We also,
and for the record, we are at the Atlanta Jewelry Show at this moment.
Yeah. So this is a great show for us because I get to sleep in my own bed. But yeah, we also at the shows, as well as online, as well as over the phone, we also offer a memo program too for all of our customers. We know how hard it is to sell color without seeing it, so we want to focus and specialize on getting it into your store because that's what we care about the most. We want you to like it and you to see it because what I think is pretty may not be what someone else does, so I think that's important.
Well, good. Konrad, thanks for coming in. And one thing I would like is for anybody, if you're interested in their reserve stones, go on their website, look at the reserve stones, and then send them an email and let them know that you heard about it here.
Absolutely.
And that you found it. So just kind of interesting to let him know that we saw it. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, Konrad, thank you.
Hey,
Appreciate
thanks
it.
Thanks for listening to the Pearls of Wisdom Jewelry Podcast. For more information about the show, please visit southernjewelrynews.com/podcast, brought to you by Southern Jewelry News and Jewelry Store Marketers. Make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you can catch the next show. See you then.